the next application, it kind of goes back to something I said in the beginning, which is, you know, a number of these applications have shifted to more, you know, solvents, resin, UV type inks. But you're more than capable of producing it and producing it in a high quality fashion on one of the Canon Image Prograph series printers. So as far as applications go, you know, one of the main applications you see is perforated window vinyl going into, you know, storefronts. And that's something that you guys can do on your aqueous Canon printers. So Dave, why don't you, lead the way on this one?
I appreciate it. So actually, the only time I've ever really done this is my brother-in-law. He had a business and his business was in a strip mall, if you will, not strip, a strip mall, huge windows. And I asked him, I said, hey, I've got this, window perf I'd like, I've been showing it for years. Do you mind if I print something spray coated and non-spray coated just to see what the difference would be? And he actually went to an advertising company, kind of put the signage up, and I have some photos of that, but just to see how well it would hold up. And he had it up in the window for almost 3 years before he ended up moving to a new building, which is shocking, right? It definitely had faded, and you can see where the spray coated one had held up better than the other. But the fact that it was still up 3 years later, it did have a bit of an overhang, right? So as people would walk around, it had a bit of an overhang, so that really helped big time. But that was shocking just how well it held up, and it's just amazing considering it's an aqueous printer. I love to show this print sample. This is your typical glass. You can't see it, but the moment you flip it around, you can definitely see me, right? So the fact you've got kind of those viewing conditions, it's really durable. It does provide a level of security because it offers a certain level of strength to that window from breaking and someone trying to break in. So which is another piece to it. I kind of tested that, saying how well it would help. Believe it or not, that's on there pretty good. I mean, it's not easy to take this off. You can get it off, but you need kind of
as a disclaimer, at LexJet, we have not tested it to be burglar proof or for breaking the windows. Just to be clear. Just to be clear.
Only because I dropped.
That's my disclaimer.
I dropped one of these down and broke it, and so it kind of held it together. So
yes.
I did like a dozen of these, and one just got.
For those of us in Florida, it's not going to turn your windows into your non-hurricane
that's right.
impact windows into impact windows.
Good point.
So, just want to.
Yeah, well, there goes
clear about that one. I know. So
yeah. The only reason why I know is I destroyed one of these big time, and the window kind of helped keep it from scattering all out.
Yeah. No, and this one, it's there really isn't much more to talk about on this one because it is such a specific application.
Yep.
But we felt it was really worth talking about because I don't know of many other perforated window vinyls on the market that are available for an aqueous printer.
No, to be clear, this isn't something that you're going to put on your bus window or your RV window because it's not really for that application. You could do it temporarily.
Game day, maybe, you never know, right?
Yeah,
RV.
It's if you want to put it, if you're doing tailgating for a football game, then sure, go ahead. But this isn't a long-term application. Something like that.
Correct. And in the openings, the opening it's a 70-30 opening, so that's 70% vinyl, 30% opening. When you're going to a vehicle, you need to have basically bigger holes. So I think I'm not sure if it depends on state. I think there's at 60-40, I think, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, I can't remember off the top of my head, but typically you want the bigger holes. But yes, this is perfect for non-vehicle retail, indoor is what's recommended. And like Dave had said, he has some experience with seeing the prints after they've been outdoor with an overhang, and they held up really well there as well.
Really well, yeah. It was fantastic, actually. He was blown away. I told him a year maybe, right? And 3 years later it was still up. He's like, it's unbelievable, Dave. So nice product,
And,
really nice product. I love showing.
and one of our attendees in the question panel let me know that they've used it with our optically clear. I'm sure if it's our optically clear laminate or an optically clear laminate successfully, and it's worked really well. So
that's actually a great idea. That'll help, get rid of some of the mess too, potentially, that could happen from not having, because if you got like a solvent or something on your hands, you could potentially rub that off. Especially clean window, right? Glass.
Yes, definitely.
So that would be really kind of the critical piece. So
and I think with any of these applications that we're talking about, obviously rely on us at LexJet, rely on, all of us to be able to tell you, what's the best way to install something, or, the different considerations you may have, because not every installation is unique, but many aspects of an installation can change the way you may want to do something. So always, we're always here to help from that standpoint.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope you learned about some great applications for LexJet Aqueous Perforated Vinyl. If you have any questions, please contact a LexJet customer specialist at 800-453-9538 or visit lexjet.com.